And we're going live. Hey, everybody. We have a brand new show tonight. I want to introduce to all of you, and there's nobody here yet, but we're going to have a new show tonight, Margot. Glad to see you here. Maybe in a few minutes we'll get some more people in. So Dangerous Freedom and I are just going to chit chat and wait for some people to get in here. We got a few shout outs to give. But there again, Margot, I'm going to wait a few minutes.
Right.
I don't know. I don't see any in the chat, but I know Margot's here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna need 1 second here to pop.
Go right ahead. We got time.
Chat out over here. Hey, Margot, I see you. And I never like doing this. I will.
Yeah, Margot's always here. She's a great friend. Margot, since nobody's in here, I'll tell you straight up, you need to call me sometime. We could talk about a lot of stuff. But we're waiting around. It is Sunday night, Margot, so we're going to have to wait on a few people to get in here before we actually get started. And DM's here, DM DeMod.
I see.
Yeah, she's here. She's here.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm slower than History B. It's going to take me a second here.
Thank you, DM, for sharing it out. But I'll tell you, there will never be DM in History B. I mean, that's a goal to shoot for. But Jeff Browndow just came in, so hey, good. We got 6 in here. Let's get 4 more, and we'll get started. I like to have 10 people when we start there, Ron, if that's okay with you.
No, it's perfectly fine there, brother. Don't change your MO on my account.
And since we're just having a good time tonight, and we're going to be kicking off this new show, I'm going to smoke a cigarette until we get some people in here, like Vince Dunn's in here now, and Linda Horner, and Willman757, Mark B. Okay, we got people coming in. So Mark says he sees 9. I see 8. So we'll get started here in just a minute. Fred Knott's in here.
I see about 7 here.
Yeah, Fred Knott just came in. Our Beowulf brother. Fred. That's what I like to call him, is my Beowulf brother. I still haven't seen that Beowulf.
Neither have I, and it's not like I haven't pushed it on him either.
Yeah, I know, but
Fred, come on, man. I go to the range. You've seen the guns that we go shooting with. Time to show yours.
Miss Mary, Mark B, and Rex Havoc, U.S. Navy. No, you're not. You're not late, brother. Liberty Smith's in here. Good. And
hey,
of course, DM's talking to Fred Knott, so I won't say what she's saying.
But, yeah, let's not repeat what those two say.
Oh, that's okay. I'm glad they have each other. I'll tell you that I am really happy about that. It's always great. Myself, I've been alone for a while, as you have, Dangerous Freedom. So we got Rooster Cogburn in here and Disabled Vet's Perspective. Go ahead, Ron.
No, I was just telling Alex I was sorry I couldn't stay around longer, but we were trying to somewhat prepare for the show. So
Rooster Cogburn said that guns are scary and dangerous.
Yeah. I've known Rooster. I know who Rooster is. He's not afraid of guns.
No, and yeah, I know that for a fact. And Alex is in here, so that's good. And Jeff Brandow and Linda Horner. So we got 14 people in here. So let's get started. This is going to be our first show, people. So you're going to have to bear with us. We're following DM and History B, but we're not them by any shape or form of the imagination. We're going to be here to bring you some information and to have a good time. That's what it's all about. Let's stop being so dang serious, but be serious, but don't make it sickening. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth.
It's common sense.
And accept it for what it is. So we got 14 in here. I'm going to get started.
I want to thank DM. We should get California Critic in here. He would make us all laugh right now.
I wished he was here. He's a good guy. I love him. I love his videos.
Yeah.
and he's got a couple of little voices there that sound like little kids. So yeah, it's pretty good. Did you see the one with the donut in the eyes?
Oh, I don't think I saw that
He
one
put a
yet.
donut on a stick and put big old Mr. Potato Head eyes on it, you know, and that was Adam Schiff, and he was talking to Adam Schiff, asking it questions, and it was
No,
real funny.
I did not see that.
So in my shout outs, if you don't know California Critic, go check him out. He's a busy man. He's a young guy. He's 40 years old. He's got a family. He works hard. Check him out.
He lives in California.
That's why he's California Critic.
Yeah. He
But
doesn't
then we
like
have,
it there.
okay, let's see. I got to read this. Rooster Cogburn said, I want History Bee to do a video on the wooden doors on the gas chambers at Auschwitz. Boy, that's a deep one. And Common Sense with Elizabeth said, hello there, Mr. Bobby and Mr. Ron. I almost missed it. I'm glad you reminded us last night on Jim's chat. So that's cool. So we're getting some people in here. We're actually might even hit 20 here in a minute. And that's always great. But to get started, you have to remember Disabled Vets Perspective, Dangerous Freedom, my brother, Liberty Smith, Pete the Patriot, DM DeMod, DM and History Bee. You got to remember Common Sense with Elizabeth, S.A. McGibbon, all these great people putting out great content. And we don't know, Ron, we don't know if we're going to be here December 11th or not.
Not to be honest with you, no, I don't know. DM, no, they're not that little anymore. No, we honestly don't know what YouTube is going to do. Although I can't see them purging us all, because I think that would end up being devastating to them. But then again, these idiots are out there proposing things that the rest of us don't agree with, and if they try to impose on us, some of us are going to stand up. In fact, a lot of us already are standing up and saying, no, we're not going to do that. We've got sheriffs, even in Virginia, that are standing up and saying, no, if you try and pass this bill, we will not, we will not enact on that, because it's totally unconstitutional. I don't know. World's getting all sideways, man. It's messed up.
It's totally messed up, but we still got people coming in. I got to shout out right quick. DM'd the mod always. She's
Ashley.
Always here. James, yeah, James Wells, who is Darlene, and Ashley's here. So, and Darla Tidwell.
Hi, Elizabeth.
So, yeah, that's great. Elizabeth's here. So, that's great. And we're going to get into this here in a few minutes. And if I didn't call your name out in a shout out, it's just because I'm a little nervous getting this new show going. And we don't really know what our platform is going to be. We don't know how we're going to do it. But like his son said, his 18-year-old son told him today, don't worry about it, Dad. Y'all talk for hours on the phone. Just keep talking. So that's what we're going to do. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we get started there? Benny May's here too. So you have anything you want to say, Ron, before I start on this first topic?
Hello, everybody. No, go ahead, Bobby.
Okay,
you start.
I wanted to get started.
I've got a few things written down, but I don't want to scare everybody off. I'll let you start the conversation. I'll just kind of push my agenda in there.
All right. Well, I'm going to start off with a real short little topic. I just want to give some people some information. Hello, Common Sense with Elizabeth. But here's the whole thing. We as patriots, our hands are tied. They tie our hands at every opportunity they get. But yet they let people like Antifa, these thugs, they let them come in and hurt people, the innocent people who happen to be caught in between, And that's what I want to talk about first. It's a little bit about Antifa. I talked about this the other night, but I didn't get it out. So tonight, with Dangerous Deplorables, let's talk about some deplorable stuff.
Okay.
And
So
what I'm going
here,
to get is, I want you to see this. I showed
oh,
it the other
okay.
night. Take a look at that.
That's a nasty
That's
one.
25 staples in a man's head from an Antifa baton.
Yeah.
Luckily, last week, an Antifa thug was sentenced to 6 years in prison for striking a man on his head from behind. From behind.
We finally some justice. Oh my Lord.
6 years.
Hey
But
Tony.
the thing about it is, Ron, is they hit him from behind while he was helping another injured.
No, I saw the whole video. Yeah, I know.
So you know what I'm talking
they
about.
they cracked that guy good. I mean, he was a big guy, but they messed him up good.
Yeah, and that was in Portland. It was the Portland riot of June 29th of this
Yep.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Kelly was attempting.
That was the same day that Andy No, whatever the
Yes.
Japanese gay reporter got attacked too. I think that
You
was
left out conservative gay reporter.
Yep.
He's a conservative. See, even though he doesn't agree with our stance on that kind of stuff, he's still a conservative. He's still a right winger, thank God.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this all happened the same day as Andy No, and as we all know, Andy No, when he was injured,
as we know.
Yeah, I know. It's like saying sheeple people, you know. But that's what we have a lot of times, are the sheeple people that listen to this mainstream media news, you know, and they just want to give you the glossed over version. They don't want to tell you the truth. They don't want to tell you how Andy No walked 2 city blocks bleeding and hurting. And he found cops finally 2 blocks away. And you know what the cop said? Oh, you got to go 4 blocks that way to get an ambulance.
Oh, yeah.
Which meant he had to go right back through the Antifa thugs who had just beat him to get to an ambulance. What kind of crazy stuff is going on in Portland?
Yeah, well, we don't have that here.
Well, no, thank God.
Well, no, our police
and Seattle, you know, I mean, it's all over the Northwest.
I've seen it. Trust me, I've seen it. But you've got to look at your 10-mile radius. What's going on inside of your city? What's going on inside of your town? How are your police acting?
That's right.
Because our police don't tolerate that crap, because they know if they don't take care of it before the citizens take care of it, it's going to be a lot less bloody.
Well, do me a favor and keep that topic on your mind, because I want to talk about that next, is that 10-mile radius that you and I talked about earlier. I just want to finish this little bit up here about this poor guy that got 25 staples in his head just for trying to help someone who'd already been beaten by Antifa. Well, the attorney for this guy, this Antifa piece of garbage, said the sentence was too harsh. It's too harsh for the crime he committed, even though this piece of demon rat animal dung was caught on camera assaulting Kelly from behind, like the coward that this Antifa thug is. When this thug assaulted Kelly and saw the police, he hid the baton in his pants and adjusted his mask that he was hiding behind. Why do we have masks allowed? If you and I walk downtown and we put on a mask and we carried batons and we didn't have Antifa written all over us, Ron, they would take us to jail.
You like that one?
There you are, my brother.
Knight's Armory Express. Actually, my son loves this so much that he wanted one, so I got it.
Well, the plain point of the matter is that it's past time for this Antifa domestic terrorist organization to be called out and to start being arrested and taken off of the streets. Because like what we're fixing to talk about, that 10-mile radius, where are you? You know, it's like multiculturalism is what I was going to talk about later. And that is where people segregate into groups, you know, within their counties and their cities, and they cluck together, you know, because they're against the same things, you know, and they're for the same things. You You know, that's good, right, God, country, family, you know? And we've got these people wanting to tear every bit of that down. So I want to get into that 10-mile radius you're talking about because I know you have something to say on that. So go, brother. I'm going to hush.
Okay, so on what you were saying, a lot of that is like tribalism, you know,
Exactly.
and granted, you know, back in the day, it was usually ethnicity or color or whatever, race,
Right.
religion. But now we are in this
Hey,
melting pot.
Tony.
I mean, we're still this melting pot that was created back in the day because we have blacks, we have Mexicans, we have Chinese, Japanese, we have all these Americans. But
Multiculturalism.
now we are getting flooded at the southern border by a lot of people that come in here and they will fly their Mexican flag above an American flag.
How wrong is that? Is, you know, I have a 6-year military, almost 7 years with the military. And I'm going to tell you, that's the first thing that we learned is no flag flies above the American flag. No
Never.
flag. I don't care what it is.
Not ever.
And if you see that happening, I don't care if it's the gay rainbow flag or if it's a state flag or any other flag. No flag flies above the stars and bars. And while we're at this, I want to remind these people what that stars and bars stand for. You know, you have 50 stars for the 50 states. You have the blue for the union. You have the white for purity and desire to do God's will. And the red for the blood that was shed to make this country free. We need to look at the American flag and see it as a symbol. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm not kidding you. The American flag is so beautiful and it stands for so much good. I don't understand how anybody can look at that flag and not be brought to tears with happiness and joy that we have a country that's free. But are we really free, Ron?
I'm back. No, yes. I feel pretty free. But then again, I live in one of the freest states. According to Guns and Ammo, we're the #1 in gun friendly. But you know, we still have a lot of these California people moving in, and I'm telling you, every time I see another California plate, it makes me nervous. It's like, well, who's moving over here? Is it a patriot or is it one of these liberals that are tired of paying outrageous taxes and they're going to try and move over here? And oh, well, no, I think we need more government. And it's like, we have been doing fine without government in our ass.
Well, what you're going to get
come over here and tell us what we need. We've been doing fine without you. When in fact, if we're that bad, why are you even here? Why don't you go to Texas? And even Texas don't want them. I'm telling you, there's a lot of civil unrest going on, and a lot of it is being quelled, but stay prepared. All of you, stay prepared. 2020 is coming soon, and we don't know what to expect. So
that's why I tell Fred Nod all the time to keep his powder dry, because the time's coming. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. You've got all these liberal panty waste in California, and we do have good conservatives in California. Don't get me wrong, we do, like California Critic, and I'm not sure, but I know there's many more from California. But you know, they need. I would have to make a mass exodus. I would. I couldn't stay there in that kind of government. You know, it's like living in Virginia. You know, and we're, my God.
And that's messed up. And yeah, I mean, I went over the bill just last Friday, and now they've already got attorneys coming out making outrageous statements. Jared over at Guns and Gadgets, if you haven't seen the video, he just posted it this morning, but he was going over what some attorney said. It was outlandish stuff, man. Like,
I gotta say this right quick. Darla Tidwell said that really, right across from the hospital in my town, a house flies the Mexican flag over the American flag. Well, you see, they ought to go in there and take it down. The police should.
Burn it, or tear down the flagpole. I could do that. Actually, I'm really good at that kind of stuff.
Well, maybe that's what's going to happen
right
someday.
now. I can't get down right now.
Well, I'm telling you, you almost got on a roll there for a minute, brother.
Okay. Okay, so we were talking about that 10-mile radius.
Yep. Let's talk about that. Hey, Tony.
Just a few things on that is you gotta like assess your threats and your advantages. What do you have in that 10-mile radius that you can utilize, or what is going to be a detriment or a threat to you? I mean, you know, if you're in a big city like Detroit or something, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not quite there, but you know, you just gotta weigh your threats and try and avoid them the best you can. And then you also have to look for advantages, like you know, I've seen people that are growing plants out on their back porch.
Yeah.
I know that fairly close by we have roosters. I hear them once in a while. Most people around here don't like them very much, but personally, I would love to raise chickens. I think that'd be great for my kids and myself. But maybe we'll have to go with rabbits. I'm thinking about doing rabbits. Has anybody in the chat ever raised rabbits?
I have, actually. I had 185 at one time.
Really?
The problem with rabbits is the same thing with squirrels. You can't eat them all the time. You'll get sick.
Really?
Yeah, you can't eat rabbit forever.
Well, no, I mean, I'm thinking.
But no, what I'm saying is you can't do it for a long period of time. It will literally make you sick. That's what happened with the Donner Party. You know, they ate all the rabbits and all the squirrels and everything else they could get, and even their horses and their shoe leather, but they wound up eating each other. And it's because you can't eat that kind of stuff all the time. And so you got to be aware. If you're going to raise something, man, you raise chickens. You got meat and you got eggs. Get you a cow or a goat, and then you got milk.
I've never had any kind of cattle like that. Never milked a goat.
Well, I've milked goats and cows, but yeah, you don't want to drink.
When we should get together. I mean, anyway.
But you know, Ron, we can't keep going like we're going in the country, like we are now. I mean, and we've got to stop this. You know, it's got to end somewhere. You know, because believe it or not, there's people vested in our country that want to bring us down. That's their whole thing. That's their whole plan. And I'm talking about the demon rats.
I know.
And those who support them.
And even some Republicans.
Amen.
You know what? It was funny because somebody in one of my streams that I follow, he was like, yeah, so we went to Thanksgiving dinner, and he wanted to ask how everybody's Thanksgiving went with like politics and stuff. And I was like, oh, actually, yeah, we did talk about politics. We all agreed politicians are wicked. They're corrupt. And that was about the end of that conversation. We don't like politicians.
Well, you're probably 90% right. But then you do have some people like Trump and Doug Collins and Jim Jordan, you know, David Nunes and those kind of people. We have some great patriots in our government, but they have little power. You know, I mean, especially in the House, because the demon rats run everything.
And just in that last phrase that you just said, but they have little power. That is about the power they're supposed to have. They are supposed to have little power. We are supposed to have the power. But now they've got that damn police force and these damn Democrats. I'm telling you, every county, city, state that they start to control turns to crap.
Always.
Damn.
I'm going to tell you, I live about 30 miles from Atlanta. I avoid Atlanta like the plague.
Yep.
There is nothing there that I want. Nothing. They can keep their pro ball leagues and all that kind of stuff and do all that stuff downtown. But I want to tell you, you don't walk down. There's streets in Atlanta that you don't walk down if you're a white man.
Can't imagine.
There are streets you don't walk down if you're a black man. And that's true. I mean, you have these gangs. You have Mexican gangs. You have the Lolita gangs, Lolita Express or whatever they are that traffic children into Atlanta. You know, and you've got all these other gangs and stuff. And you've got every gang in Atlanta that you have in New York. You've got MS-13 and you've got the 18th Street gang and all these other people in here. And they're in every major city around our country. Every major city.
Yeah, but
and they run wild. You never hear about them being arrested. Sometimes they commit murder and they might, get 2 or 3 MS-13 people for cutting this guy's head off with a machete. But we're talking about people like you and I. We can't live. I could never live in the city limits of Atlanta. I don't like living where I'm at. And I live in a little bitty town about 30 miles away. I mean, there's not a lot of people here, but
what was it?
Go ahead.
The Walking Dead. Yeah, they made a movie about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not pretty.
Well, it is what it is, Ron, and we're fighting an uphill battle every day.
Well, you know what? I don't think our battle would be near as hard as it is for us if people before us would have put more effort into the fight. Because I'll tell you this, my dad, he was not a Second Amendment advocate, but my dad did also own guns. And I've shot with my dad. I have actually shot with my mom. But neither one of them pushed it. Neither one of them advocated it. And it's like, it just kind of, they've been just slowly chipping away. And there's not been enough people to stand up and, put more bricks and screw that, reinforce it with steel or lead or whatever. And, just start telling these assholes that, look, this is our right. It was given to us by God, not by you. And you don't have a right to chip away at it. And this new Virginia bill is just another punch in the gut. Oh man, it's ticking a lot of us off. I know I'm not the only one, man.
No, you're not.
I know you're not the only one. We're all pissed.
Ashley said exactly, dangerous freedom.
I know.
But there again, what are we going to do with these people who continually try to tear down our nation and our government and our country and our love for God? I mean, honestly, I wish somebody would just tell me, how can you have people like Pelosi and Schiff and Schumer and Nadler actually sitting on these committees and making rules and regulations and changing the rules? And it's so obvious. Why do we sit back and allow them to do it? Why don't we just say, stop it? You're gone. You're done. You're out of here. Trump put $5 million into Gitmo the first year he was in office to upgrade it for VIP prisoners. Well, let's send some of these people to Gitmo. I mean, Schiff's guilty. Hillary's guilty.
I'll be honest.
Guilty.
I hope that Epstein fella is over there in Gitmo, man. I hope he's not dead. I hope he rats on the Clintons too. Man, that would be awesome if he could take down part of the British Parliament, whatever that Prince
Andrew.
Ferdinand or whoever the hell that guy is.
Yeah, Prince Andrew.
Yeah, whatever. And man, if he could start taking people down that way, because we seem to be prosecuting pedophiles a lot harder. And I mean, hey, if that's how did we get Capone? They couldn't get him on murder or racketeering. They got him on tax evasion.
Exactly.
So if we could get these guys on some lesser charge than what they they should get just the death penalty, but that's just me. Actually, that's not just me. There's a lot of people in this chat that agree that those people should be at the end of a rope. They'll get a fair hearing, and then the people will say, and
well, Crow Minion says he has a strong feeling that Epstein is still stashed away for future use, and he could be dead, but he sorts of doubt it. And I sort of doubt it too. I mean, there's too many variables that and we're just talking off our cuff. We're not dwelling into no deep topics, but
yeah, we're
going to talk about this for a minute.
Where's my tinfoil hat? Hold on.
But the cameras just malfunctioned somehow. The guards fell asleep and didn't make their rounds.
Oh, Bobby, did you see the guards? No, one of them was Black Friday or they were shopping online. The other one was asleep, and I'm telling you, it was when I saw the people. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and start going through ethnicity and all that stuff, and like maybe lower IQs, but man, it wasn't pretty. They were covering up something, and they just, we'll just throw them out there. And seriously, if they had these people covering Jeffrey Epstein, the prison needs to have a reform on their whole policy.
Well, then you have, let me look here. It was Fred Knott. He said that Epstein is spilling it all, and he's hiding somewhere for immunity. So, I don't doubt that a bit. And, but you're right, Luciano. They're planning to take out corrupt politicians if anything happens to Trump. We are planning, but Trump has bodyguards. He doesn't just have the Secret Service. He has a private.
Oh, yeah. He's had them for years, and they're probably, I wouldn't doubt they're special ops trained.
I would say, yeah, they're probably
hired them back when he was, when he was doing The Apprentice. And so when he became president, he's like, look, I'm not getting rid of these guys. And all they probably had to do was just show their credentials. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
But
he probably had Secret Service on the private scale. So it's like, when he transferred over, it was probably no big deal.
Well, sure.
And they're doing a good job protecting him. Plus, the places he goes, I mean, have you seen those rallies? Man, I'm telling you, those are uplifting. Even if you really don't believe in Trump or trust Trump, when you watch one of his rallies and the people and how excited everybody gets. And did you notice he cussed in his last one?
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
You don't
he
drink,
did.
you don't smoke. What do you do? Well, at least he says a cuss word here and there. I can only imagine what he's like behind closed doors.
Well, see, that's what happens. But you see, you have to realize too that Trump's already they've tried to assassinate him over a dozen times, and they failed. You can look that up on the internet and you can find it anywhere.
I don't know.
They've tried.
I remember one time he was at one of his rallies, and somebody went up to one of the sheriffs, that was doing security, and tried to grab his gun, and they subdued him and took him backstage, but they could have shot him right there.
One of his speeches where he was saying, yeah, get that guy out of here. Yeah, y'all doing a great job.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Well, yeah, nobody likes a troll. I mean, although Donald Trump is the greatest troll ever, but for the most part, none of us like him. And there was this one guy on Pete's channel. I don't even know if Pete's in here, but he was doing a call-in show, and there was some a-hole that just kept calling him and must have called him 70 times in like 35 minutes.
Hey, B.
Yeah, Pete. Yeah. And it's like, what if somebody else wants to call in? And some of us were trying to call in, but he didn't know, if he didn't know whose front number, and he's already being trolled by this one guy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, that troll, I would have liked to just kind of drag to the ground and a few good pops. But
we can't be violent.
Why not? Why not? Violence is what wins.
That's
it
right.
does.
Yeah.
And history B, I see you, hon. But
Yeah.
no, anybody that comes out and says violence is not the answer, it's like, have you read history? The losers never get their side taken properly. And I
gotta look back here. Oh, yes, I am feeling better, History B. Thank you. Let's see what else History B might have said. She said to check out what she said. History B, yeah. Trump is a master troll. Yes, he is. Yeah, so History B, thank you. I am feeling better. I still got a little bit of the sniffles, but that's because I keep going outside. But we're glad you're here, along with Fred Naughton, Darla Tidwell, History B, Philip Turner, and all you guys that are here, Luciano, all of you. We're glad that you came in. We've got 33 people here, and that's just fantastic. And if any of you that are here, Barry Gibson, the memo, Slate Rock, if you don't have Dangerous Freedom, pick him up. And if you don't have me, pick me up. That's what we're here for. We're here to grow our channel, and we're here to bring you some entertainment and maybe some good information in the process. And thank you, Slate Rock. I am doing much better. Thank you. Ashley says, what is the point of our vote if voter fraud is how the Dems plan on beating President Trump? I have that same question. I do. We know that voter fraud is prevalent. We know that they're collecting votes, they're buying votes, they're letting dead people vote.
Without a doubt.
They did it in the last election and we won. But they've had 4 years to rethink this whole plan. So I agree with you. I don't know how we're going to win this election outright, because we're going to have so many demon rats that are vote harvesting and all this kind of stuff. I mean, the last election was crazy. You saw in Florida how they were carrying these votes in the trunks of their cars. These things are supposed to have a chain of custody, where a cop is with them all the time. But yet they had videos of them picking up ballot boxes out of the trunks of their cars. Well, how do we know those weren't fake ballots? We don't, because the chain of custody was gone. So we got to work on that this year.
Well, yeah, it just goes back to the corruption of the Democrats.
How corrupt are they? They're corrupt enough to do anything.
Dude, they are trying to unseat a duly elected president, one that the majority of the people voted for.
Thank you, Will.
They're trying to come out and tell us, hey, your president's not good enough. You're not good enough. They're telling us we're not good enough. You know what? Personally, I take that personal. You're telling me I'm not good enough to make up my mind to decide, hey, no, I want this guy in charge instead of that guy. Because I'll tell you what, I never voted for Obama, and he was the worst thing that happened to our country. And just like Donald Trump said, he will go down in history as the worst president that America has ever had. And that is saying a lot, because we've had a lot of bad presidents.
He's worse than Jimmy Carter, and I didn't think there was one any worse than Jimmy Carter. Even though he's from Georgia, he was the worst president until Obama. But I want to get this on here right quick. Oh yeah, Ben Stun, soapbox, ballot box, or last resort, the bullet box.
I've got those stacked.
Yep, that's it, man.
I've
And
got my food stacked too.
my
I'm not
grapevine
going
for you
down.
said, how in this day and age don't they have proper voting systems to vet everyone is beyond me, and it's beyond me too. You know, when I go to vote, I have to show my ID.
Yep. Yep.
You know, I mean, and I don't think that's enough sometimes. I don't know what they're going to do, but Ashley agrees with you. But the machines are rigged. These machines can be rigged to where if you vote Demon Rat, it shows Republican, or if you're voting Republican, it'll go to the Democrat. And these Democrats are doing that. You're actually voting for Trump, but when it hits a machine, it goes directly to whoever the Demon Rat is. They're stealing our votes with these voting machines. Oh, I got to talk to this guy, Barry Gibbon. He says that he's been following me since my first broadcast. Dave for Network Truth USA turned me on to you. I don't get many of your live shows. Well, brother, all you have to do is be ready on Sunday mornings at 11. Sunday night at 8 o'clock, you have me and Dangerous Freedom here as Dangerous Deplorables. And then I have a show on Wednesday night at 8 and one on Friday night at 8. So don't wait for the alerts that I'm going live. Just know I'm going live at 8 p.m. 3 times a week. And one night I have my dear buddy and my dear friend and brother, Dangerous Freedom, with me.
Dangerous Deplorables. Yes. This is our flag show.
This is the flagship. Yes, it is.
History.
And, I mean, this is our first time.
I hope
you know, it's going to take us a little while to get all the kinks worked out and quit talking over each other. But yeah, Rooster Cogburn said History Bee said, oh, Rooster Cogburn said to History Bee needs to do a video on those wooden doors at the gas chambers in Auschwitz again. So that's probably true. I haven't heard about those wooden doors in Auschwitz, but I wouldn't doubt it a bit. I mean, the things that went on there, nothing would surprise me.
No, not at all. Hey, before we get going, I do want to give a shout out to my brother Jim over there at Ninth Army.
Jim.
Of course, I think most of you know who he is. If not, you should go check him out. In fact, I'll drop a link here in the chat in a minute, or if Donna or B or somebody can drop a link there. He just custom made me a knife.
Just out of the clear blue.
Well, it's been a project coming, but he's been a busy man. And now with Christmas coming, he's just trying to get it all that way. You're going to see History B's knife coming and DM's knife coming. Ashley, is he sending you a knife too? He's got one coming to me. Fred's already got his knife. He got the one of the spike knives. But you know, some of the people that are close to him, and Joe, of course, Joe got the first knife, which I don't know why he doesn't still put that in his background, but whatever. He's trying to jump through YouTube hoops, I guess.
Thank you, DM, for putting that up there on Knight's Armory, and I believe you. I've got my knife from Knight's Armory right here.
Yeah, I know.
And she's waiting on hers. Let me tell you, my friends, that is a beautiful knife.
That is a bat.
I mean, look at that handle.
Nice.
That is beautiful, and that's leather. That's from Knight's Armory. He didn't make this one, but he makes them just as good.
Yep.
So check out Knight's Armory. He's a heck of a guy.
Oh yeah, yeah, Big Jim. Big Jim and the beard, man. I could go grab it, but no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, Willman 757 says he wants him to make him a butter knife. I guess he eats a lot of toast. Oh, yeah. Common sense with Elizabeth. She answered my question.
Shotgun.
Common Sense with Elizabeth answered my question. She said the machines are rigged because they're computerized. The old lever machines that we used to have could not be compromised. I had that conversation with an election worker back in November. So now we have our answer. Let's go back to the old manual pull to vote. Let's get rid of the computers because that's how they steal this stuff.
We still do paper ballots here. Well, me personally, I've lived here so long. I get the early ballots, so I can send them in early, and they're all paper. So, and then, well, when it comes to the presidential vote, you have to go, but ours is at the local church, and we just go in there, show our ID, and we vote. Never had an issue.
You know, it was this is funny. You know what chitlins are?
I've heard of them. I have never had them.
Well, it's nothing but pig intestines. But Philip Turner said when President Carter visited his ship, the CVN 69, while he was president, he fixed President Carter chitlins
On the ship.
on the ship. So where in the heck did they get pig guts?
They
He must have brought them with him. But I'll tell you, but we got some good people in here tonight, man. We got 30 people, and that's really good for the first show. And Tony's in here, Luciano, Fred Knott, Philip Turner. So we got some great people in here.
A lot of our family, and I bet you in reruns, we're probably going to see a lot more. I am just, wow, that is cool. I'm looking forward to more of these shows, Bobby.
Yeah, I know you were a little nervous to start with. You didn't know if you.
No, that was Friday night. That was because I drank too much coffee. I'm good.
Well, I guess I do too because I drink 2 pots every day, but it doesn't do me that way.
Well, you're used to it.
Yeah.
2 pots a day, man. That would be like crack to me.
History says that we have paper ballots, but then you have to slide them into the computer reader, and that's where the fraud comes in. And we're getting great comments from people about these voting booths and these voting machines because I really don't know that much. But yeah, that was a good idea. I think I saw something about fingerprints. That would be great. Yeah, let's do a fingerprint reader on these voting machines where you got to put your thumbprint or your fingerprint.
Yeah, that we actually, the last company I worked for, they had that verify ID whatever system, and it was one where you had to put your thumb up to it, or I think it was your forefinger, but you had to fingerprint yourself, and that's how it read it. It was weird, but I mean, you know, it just made sure that everybody was legit to go, you know.
Well, you know, that's funny. You go to a bank to cash a check and you don't have an account there, you got to give your thumbprint on the check.
Yep.
Why don't we do that with voting machines? I mean, come on, they've got the technology. They've had it for decades. So let's take everybody. Hey, look, they've got all of our fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you've ever been arrested any time in your life for anything.
Oh, yeah.
If you've been in the military, they have your fingerprints.
Or even at birth. Remember, at birth,
they got footprints. Yeah, and handprints. That's right. But see, that's the whole thing. They have the technology to make this stuff work. But they don't want to make it work because then they couldn't cheat. And that's what it's all about. History B says she has to give her thumbprint in order. Well, that jumped up there quick. I lost her. In order to do my job. Now, isn't that crazy? See?
Well, no, I get that because, like I was saying, at the last place I worked, you literally had to clock in with your thumbprint or your fingerprint. That was the only way to do it. So, I mean, I get where she's going with that. Yeah, and it makes you feel like a slave, doesn't it, Kelly?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me feel like a slave, although I know at any time. I could walk the hell out off the job and be like, I'm
Right.
done with all of you. I'm going on to bigger and better things. And I mean, Kelly, you're smart enough. You could definitely go on to bigger and better things. I appreciate that you're a teacher, though. I really do.
Oh, she's great.
That is a task. I mean, I teach my kids, my two sons, and I've taught a few other kids, but man, to teach a class of children, that's one heck of a job. Much
Barry Gibson said that they use a retinal scan for him
for who?
at his work. He has to look into an eye thing to where it reads your retina.
Well, who is he? James Bond?
Well, no, he just probably works at a high tech place to where, they have that technology. I mean, it's everywhere. And before long, we're going to have that RFD chip stuck in
No,
our hand. No, because that's the mark of the beast, and that's another
nope,
story.
nope, not happening. Like I was just saying, I will go off grid. You won't see me, and if you do see me, you better hope to God it's on good terms.
Oh, get this. Thank you, Kelly. History B. Thank you so much. She says, more than anything, it pisses me off. And if she says that, she's mad. You don't hear History B talk like that. But more than anything, it pisses me off because I have to pay for it and it costs a lot. Every 3 years, she has to prove that she's not a pedophile with a fingerprint. Can you believe that? Why should History B have to prove that she's not a pedophile?
Why
I
should
mean, that's
anyone?
crazy. Why
I
don't they
mean,
worry about getting the ones who are pedophiles?
man, you know what? We don't have a whole nother hour. We've got like 10 minutes, so I'll try and sum this up really
Do
as
it.
quick as I can.
All right,
Uh,
buddy.
that really pisses me off too. I'm to the effect of if you've committed a crime,
Right.
I mean, whatever it may be, but if you've done your time and you've reformed, then I think that you should be let out. Now, what I mean in that is like if you come home from work early and you find your wife and her lover in a bedroom and kill them, do I think that you should lose your Second Amendment right for the rest of your life? No. Do I think you should be locked up for a while? Yes. How long is depending. I mean, in the heat of the moment, I mean, sometimes 2 or 3 years is probably enough for certain people. We can't just sit there and say, oh, well, you beat up your wife. Yeah, I'm going to domestic violence now. You beat up your wife when you were 18 or girlfriend when you were 18, and now you're, 48 years old and you still don't have the right to own a rifle or a pistol. I find that absolute bullshit.
Well, it is just that. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are we going to do? I mean, how are we going to change it?
We try and do it by voting in the right representatives because
There you go.
Like whoever said in the chat earlier, if we can't do it by the ballot box, they're not going to like the effects of the next one. And 2020 is coming up quick, and a lot of people are going to be upset about the results of 2020. We all know what the results of 2020, well, at least I think we all do. I mean, Trump has this one in the bag. If he doesn't win, there's going to be a revolt. If he does win, there could possibly be a revolt. I don't know how dumb the other side is. I mean, I've seen some of the stupidity, but they're misguided. They don't have any direction or anything to come together with. Only then, oh, you hurt my feelings. It's like, are you kidding me? You think that's going to win a war? Dude, I'm going to hurt more than your feelings.
Well, that's what it's all about, Ron. These politicians, like Ashley said, are pushing for gun control, and we shouldn't let their security guards carry to protect them. If we can't carry our guns, they want to take ours away. Then these other people don't need to have security guards that are armed.
Well, I said the same thing about that Virginia bill. when they were like, oh,
Yeah.
well, no paramilitary groups. Well, okay, the cops, because remember, I brought it up to you, and you were like, well, the military is separate from that. Okay, so I'll grant you that. The military is separate, but the cops, are they not a paramilitary group?
They are now with all the equipment and stuff they're getting from the military,
Armor,
thanks to Trump.
fully automatic weapons, which
Why don't we have the
these
same
people
thing
are
that the
barely
police
allowed
have?
to own, mind you, not legally, without paying their tax. Oh God, don't even get me into the tax. Oh.
But you're right, man, and that's just the way it is. You know, Rex Havoc, U.S. Navy says, I will not comply.
Neither will I, Rex.
Neither will I, brother. We'll see you on the battlefield standing shoulder to shoulder.
Amen.
Barry Gibson says, they'll get mine bullets first. Slate Rock, he brought up a good thing we can finish this out with. The lefts are idiots. They did not learn what happened in London with the knife attack crime. How about that? So, okay, all guns are banned in England. You can't own a gun. Even the cops don't carry guns.
Well,
you know, the bodies.
Actually, the ones that showed up to this scene did. So
well, back in the day, they didn't. Maybe they do now. When I was there in '73, I didn't see any cops carrying guns back in 1973. They just didn't. They carried batons.
No,
I guess now they probably do.
I bet on the London Bridge they always have ever since that last attack.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking 1972. That's a long time ago, brother.
I'm telling you, if I was a security officer on the London Bridge, I would not step on foot on that bridge without a weapon. I wouldn't.
Well, Rooster Cogburn says you want fully automatic weapons for your police officers, but not for us.
Yeah, exactly. Rooster, you're absolutely right.
I mean, that's what I mean. Are we supposed to be armed as well as they are?
Have to jump through hoops.
Liberty Smith says he's becoming more and more indifferent every day about all this crap. Don't start nothing, there won't be nothing.
I'm down with that.
Man,
I'm down with the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You know what? You don't come up and punch me in the face or ask me for my money. I won't do the same back to you. But if you do, you're probably going to get a different result.
You know, we have to be full supporters of our founding fathers' documents, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution.
Absolutely.
You know, and all these things that govern us. And we're getting down to the last couple of minutes, so I'm going to ease out of here. We're going to say our goodbyes. And CLC in Florida said that I'm so sorry, Dangerous Freedom, we're having dinner, just got done. Well, I'm glad you made it, CLC in Florida. And Common Sense with Elizabeth, Rooster Cogburn, History B. I love History B. Kelly is a fantastic lady, just like Donna. DM and her have a great show with Ashley sometimes. And so we got to remember to check them out on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. And then we have Tony Patriot. I saw him in here. Tony Patriot's out there on Thursday nights. Plus he does a Grow channel, I think at noon on Monday and Tuesday. So check him out. Hit that bell icon for everybody. That way you'll know when they're going live, and you can check them all out. It's hard.
We didn't see American Joe pop in here.
He hasn't popped in a while. He's pretty busy. I think he's getting ready to go on right behind me. And yeah, because he comes on at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
So I try to get out of here. D.A. Archer, good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a while. You need to call me. History V, you're fantastic, no doubt about it. You and DM and Ashley do a fantastic job, and I love you all three in a brotherly fashion. So we're going to get out of here. We got 1 minute. Would you have any last final words there, Ron?
I hope you all stay safe. And you know, I say that we ride this thing until the rails fall off, you know, because we don't know. December 10th might be the end of the rails for us.
Yeah, but we'll get better at this if we get the opportunity. So we've got a couple of weeks we can do this. if
But
they
you
do
know
cut
what?
us off.
Enough of and see there's another thing I want to say real quick. Like enough of us have each other's numbers that we can share, and even if we get kicked off of YouTube or something, we still have a means
Mhm.
of getting in touch with each other.
That's right.
And,
Okay. Oh,
and that's communication part. All right. Take care.
well, one good thing, I'm gonna get out of here because it's 9 p.m. But DM and History Bee will be on my show on the 8th of December. And I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a great time. Two great ladies. I'll tell you, they're probably along with Ashley and Charity O and a couple of others. They are, I'm not going to, they're fantastic, but I
Beautiful.
can't mention them without mentioning Sandra Ann McGibbon and all these Darla Tidwell and all these people who support us. But go to these people's channels who have content and support them. Hit the bell icon, let them know that you're there, leave a comment, and hit the like button. And as we're getting out here tonight, D.A. Archer and Liberty Smith, Luciano, Esau, Vince Dunn, hit that like button on your way out. It'll help us get up there on the recommended scale a little quicker. So I'm going to say good night. Would you like to say anything before I say good night?
No, I think we covered it all.
All right, my brother. I'll be talking to you soon.
Godspeed and God bless
Thank
you all.
everybody for being here. It's a wonderful time.
Are we going to pray?
Don't look at my hair. But
We
I'd
gonna
like to
pray
say
or
a
what?
short prayer
All right.
just to end this thing in the regular fashion. Lord God, Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you once more, Lord, for the opportunity, Lord, to be with my dear friends and people who think alike. Lord, that we can communicate and correspond with each other and get our messages and our points across, that we understand, Lord, that you are in charge. Lord, we can't control what that goes on in our nation. Lord, we try. But Lord, without your hand to guide us, it's all for naught. So Lord, lead us and guide us in the way you'd have us to go to get through these hard times, these tribulations that we're facing in our government, in our country. Lord, thank you for everybody that showed up tonight. Lord, and thank you for my dear friend Ron, Dangerous Freedom. God, go with all of us tonight as we leave here. Keep us safe. And Lord, we'll see you again. Lord, as soon as I open my eyes and close them again, because you're always here. Heavenly Father, I thank you for all you've done. Lord, thank you for giving us life and giving us love and hope in your Son, Jesus Christ. In the name of your Son, I pray these things. So be it, and amen. Everybody, have a great time. So glad you were here. Y'all made it a success. And we're going to be back next Sunday night. I'll see y'all Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And until then, I love you and God bless. And Ron, I love you too, brother. Thank you for being here.
Always.